What is up, you guys? I was not going to make this video today or at all, but I kept getting questions on how to stay motivated, and it was a video I knew was so important for me to make because I have had to deal with being unmotivated and having to get myself to playing again and practicing again and all those things. So I'm going to tell you kind of my tricks that I use to stay motivated. I have 10 tips and we're going to go through all of those. A little backstory, I've been playing the violin for 30 years. And through all those 30 years, that's a long time to be playing. I consider myself now retired, where I'm not really playing in orchestras anymore. I'm not really playing gigs. People have to pay me a lot to come out of retirement. I enjoy teaching now, and that's kind of my passion. But for a while, I was a professional violinist playing in orchestras and for the ballet and the opera and touring and just a whole bunch of things. Anyways, so I'm going to give you kind of my tips that I've used through the years of staying motivated to where I am now. Like I said, I have 10 of them, but we're going to kind of try and go through these pretty quickly. They're 10 small tips. Tip number 1 is make it a habit. If you have read the Atomic Habits book, which I'm sure like everybody has read it, if you've not, obviously go read it. It's amazing. But what James Clear recommends is attaching your new habit to a habit that's already created. One of my students' parents did this so well. So what she would do is every time after they finished dinner, she would send her son to go practice. He would eat dinner, he would get up, he would practice. Literally, that's what they did every single day without fail. They would not take breaks on Saturday or Sunday. They did it every single day. To the point where after a while, she did not have to say, hey, go practice. He would get up from the table and go practice. It was just his habit. It was his routine. He was super used to that. He would just always do that. And I think that creating that sort of a habit is so important for you because then you know, after I eat dinner, I practice. Done. Like no questions are asked. Maybe you wash the dishes first if you're an adult. But you know, for me personally, I put my baby down for a nap and then I practice. And I find that if I veer from that, like maybe I'll wash dishes first or I'll do something around the house. Sometimes I just don't even get around back to practicing because I've changed my routine. So I have to keep it very strict so that I always practice every single day. Okay, here's another little tip I like to do is I like to have a reward. So maybe if I've practiced that day, then I'll have a little bit of dessert that night, or I will get myself an iced coffee the next day. I'm very motivated by food, if you can't tell. But whatever your motivation is, like pick that for yourself. Like motivate yourself. Maybe that night you can watch a movie or whatever it is, have a reward for yourself for practicing, and it will encourage you to practice. It will keep it top of mind. All that kind of stuff is just have a reward. If you are a violinist and have not yet subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you here subscribed as part of our little violin community. My third tip is to create a practice routine. If you have not watched my video on how to practice, I highly recommend it. I have set up this incredible practice routine for myself. I literally created this for myself because when I started playing my violin again, I sometimes just didn't feel like practicing. But having a structure to practice by where you kind of know these are the things that I'm going to do, it really helps your mind to know exactly what you're going to do every single time you pick up your violin and you just do it. I will link the video down below in the description. Also, I have a practice journal that goes along with it. That's super cute. I will also link that in the description if you'd like it's totally free. It's just a downloadable little practice journal that you can get to. So create a practice routine for yourself. It's going to help so much. Another amazing thing to do is to set some goals for yourself. For myself, it's usually a piece that I want to play will be my goal. But you can have a time goal. Maybe every single day you want to practice for an hour. Maybe it's 20 minutes. I don't know what your goal is. It doesn't really matter. But having that goal, and maybe once you accomplish that goal, like we were talking about rewards, then you get your reward that goes along with your goal. Like whatever it kind of is, like linking these tips together also is very helpful. This one is so good. Keep your instrument where you can see it. If you're constantly seeing your instrument, I call it taking the path of least resistance, where if my violin is packed away, it's in a closet, it's really hard to like go get my violin and like set everything up. Whereas if I keep my violin, I'm so sorry to my husband, but I keep my violin on my couch. It's packed, but it's in like the corner of our couch and it just kind of sits there. I pull it out every single day, multiple times a day. So just to have it sit there is so much easier than not having my violin anywhere, and I will totally forget. We actually went on vacation and I cleaned up my entire house. And because of that, when I got back, my violin was not sitting there. So it took me a few days to finally pull my violin out of the closet and put it back on the couch. And now I'm practicing again. Going along with that tip, another one is to have a practice space and to have your practice space completely set up. Like I said, you're practicing every single day, or at least you should be. So have your practice space set up for yourself. So along with my violin on the couch, I have my music stand and I have all my music there that I need, my tuner, my metronome, my pencil, kind of just anything I would need is right there in that space. So all I have to do is unpack my violin and I'm practicing. Again, the path of least resistance is the goal, making it very easy for yourself to pull out your violin and practice. I think this tip is so incredibly underrated, and that's listening. Listening to your piece, listening to your favorite composer, to your favorite violinist, musician, whatever you are, listening is extremely, extremely important. When I find myself unmotivated, like when I took a season of not practicing, I started listening to classical music again. And honestly, that's when I decided, where's my violin? I need to start practicing again. And as soon as I start listening to classical music and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love the violin so much, I will pull out my violin and just start practicing. So listen to your pieces, listen to your favorite songs, and start immersing yourself in that again. And I promise you, like, just the love will come back and you will start playing your instrument again. That's kind of what I do every single time, is I will take these planned breaks, which we're going to talk about in a second. I'll take these breaks away, and as soon as I start listening again, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to pull my violin right now. Tip number 8 is to take a lesson. This does not mean that you have to have a teacher that you're seeing every single week or whatever it is that you decide. You can take a one-off lesson. Sometimes I will email my teacher, it's been a while, and I'll be like, hey, can I just come in and have a lesson? And she'll kind of help me set up a routine again and like what I need to practice, what I need to be focusing on. And it really helps to then like rezone where you are and what you're doing. So it doesn't have to be, like I said, every single week. I kind of do not have that capacity right now, whether it's a time thing or a money thing for you, whatever it is. Do a one-off lesson. If you're a violinist and kind of just needing a one-off lesson to help you get back into the zone and practicing, shoot me a message, click the link. There's a link where you can literally schedule a one-off lesson with me. You do not have to be consistent or anything like that. I'm more than happy to meet with you, help you kind of set up your routine again and get practicing. I went in for a lesson recently and my teacher told me that I needed to be much better about my bow control. And it's just her telling me that one little thing and like, this exercise is what you need to practice is extremely helpful. Tip number 9 is take a break. Take a scheduled break. Sometimes I have noticed that I will step away from my violin and I won't practice for a few days on purpose. And I come back and it's kind of like I'm ready to go again. And if you never kind of take that step back, sometimes it can be hard to be constantly forcing yourself to go and never taking a break. So one of the things I do when I take a break, so I'll sometimes take a scheduled break, like a planned, I'm not going to practice for the next week. Maybe I'm on vacation. Maybe I have a lot going on, whatever it is, but I planned to not practice. Sometimes during that time though, when maybe you don't have anything else going on, but you need a break. You need a break, right? We've all been there. Maybe do a play instead of a practice. So what I mean by that is just pick up your violin and play your favorite songs. Don't have any agenda. Don't have anything you need to do. Don't follow a practice routine. Don't do anything like that. Like literally kick out everything we've talked about and just play your violin. I think it's so important to find the love for music and the love for your violin again, rather than always forcing yourself to have to do these things and have these goals. And just take a second, take a breather, enjoy your violin, love playing it, and come back ready to implement all the things again. I hope this was really helpful. I know this is a lot of tips, a lot of things to talk about, but I hope that you're motivated to practice. And if you need anything, as always, please, please, please reach out to me. I am more than happy to help, answer comments, email me, anything. I'm here to help you. That is my entire purpose and goal for doing these videos. And I would love to get to chat with you. I will see you in the next video. Good luck and happy practicing. Bye.